I've been inspired, compelled almost, to make this video to give you guys, and ladies too, it's relevant to you ladies, some information on size, fitting, which shoe size am I? And I'm making this video because lovely gentleman called Michael, and that's all I'm saying, Michael sent me an email, it's on the screen there, wanting some information on a particular boot made by Loake Shoemakers, and is a little bit confused about sizing because in some brands he wears this size, and we're suggesting that he drops a size or half a size into this particular boot. So, general information on sizing from these shoe makers or the shoes that we sell. And I've picked, just because they're in question, Loake Shoemakers and Barker Shoes. Again, please bear with me because I've got quite a lot of information and it is all relevant. Now, some people say, just occasionally they come in, they might look at a shoe on our shelf and it might be a Loake shoe or Loake boot, and they say, have you got this in a size 9? And I say, are you always, yes, I wear size 9. I'm always a size 9. Well, I guarantee one thing, you are not the same size in every shoe in this shop. So, for example, if somebody is a true size 9, then there are plenty, and I mean plenty of shoes in this shop that would fit you in an 8.5. 1 or 2 even in a size 8, and 1 or 2 in a 9.5. So you are not the same size in every shoe in this shop. Other people might say, no, in Barker shoes, I wear a 9. I'm always a 9 in Barker shoes. Well, I can guarantee you are only a size 9 in what fits you in a size 9. In something else, you'll be a different size. Now, if we go to Barker, as an example, there's a Barker shoe made by Barker Shoes, and it's called the Sky. And it's made on last number, I've forgotten. It's not really that important anyway. But what is important is that this shoe by Barker, called the Sky, is detailed as a regular F fitting. Well, here's the deal. It is not true to size. So that Sky is not true to size, even though it's detailed as a regular fit. If 50 people walked in this store today, 49 of them will drop to an 8.5 from their regular 9 in that shoe, which means that shoe fits generous by half a size. Example, those 50 guys wearing a true to size 9, 49 of them would take that in a size 9. That's another shoe by Barker, but that's made on a last that is true to size. So, example me, I would wear that shoe very well in an 8. I would wear that shoe very well in a 7.5. And that, by the way, is one of the very best fitting shoes in this shop for most people. Hence why it's been incredibly popular. On to Loake, our other examples we have here today, that Hoskins boot. And I can tell you what last that's made on. It's made on a last that's given a name by Loake. It's called Claridge, and it's detailed as a regular F fitting, and it's more or less true to size. So if you're a 9 in most things, you're probably going to be a 9 in this boot. By comparison then, that's the Chatsworth made by Loake Shoemakers, and it's detailed as a G fitting. That one, by the way, regular F. But this boot, the Chatsworth, is made on the Jockey Last. Must be something to do with riders, riding boot, maybe, I don't know. But that's a G fitting, and it is a true G fitting. So, generous by about half a size. The guy that wears that in a 9, true to size, will almost certainly wear that in an 8.5. There's about half a size difference, as near as makes no difference, between a true regular fit and a true wide fit. So therein the guarantee that you are not the same size in every shoe. You are not the same size in every shoe by a particular shoemaker. And it's all about that, the last on which a shoe is made. That is a solid 3-dimensional form on which the closed upper of a shoe or a boot is draped over Turned upside down, it sits on a peg when the shoes are being made. That leather is pushed up into the last. An insole is pinned to that last and the leather is pulled tight. It's stapled and pinned and then it's stitched through the welt on a Goodyear welted shoe. And there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of different lasts over the years that the English shoemakers have used. So it's one of those that dictates the size and the shape and the fit of every shoe. It's not the shoemaker. Okay, so that's information on size and fit in Michael. If you might get to see this video and the boot in question for yourself is the Loake model gauge, drop half a size. So you say you are usually an 8.5 F in a Loake or a Church's shoe. The gauge, in my experience, by the way, it's being discontinued, but in my experience, the Loake model gauge fits generous by half a size. So from your 8.5, usually, maybe try an 8. There is no guarantee, and this again is for everybody. Any amount of information, or rather no amount of information, can guarantee how well a shoe fits or not. The only way to be certain is to try them on. And lastly, I'm going to tell you one more thing. You could take 3 pairs, or 2 or 4, or however many you want of that particular boot in the same size, and you could find, feel, notice slight differences in the way they fit. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them, but what it does mean is that all of these shoes, all of these beautiful shoes from these shoemakers that we're proud to be associated and work with, are made and finished largely by hand and by eye. So every pair, subject to margin for error or difference. Doesn't mean to say there's anything wrong. It just means to say that each and every pair is totally unique in its own way. And we wouldn't have it any other way. I hope that you found this information useful. I hope some of you have stayed watching till the end, because it is useful and relevant, especially if you are shopping remotely. And there is nowhere better to shop remotely, by the way, than right here at the Shoe Room on Priory Walk in Doncaster.